Amateur Radio Club Room 61243 back up and running, and we'll use it for a backup as well as the Mountain Empire Amateur Radio Society or Mirrors Room 40843 as a backup, should either of these rooms be down at net time. Whenever possible, recordings of this net are uploaded to Ham Radio's own YouTube page and or broadcast live. And we, oops, I forgot to activate the live. It's going live now. We chopped off the first part, but we'll be live on YouTube here momentarily. Good communication timeout, but it looks like we're back up and running. Where was I? This net emanates from the Tri-Cities area consisting of counties in northeast Tennessee and the Mountain Empire of Southwest Virginia. We welcome all amateurs to check in. We'll now begin taking check-ins. Whenever you check in, please give your... Well, let me remind you also, we do have NetLogger up and running, available for free download at netlogger.org. Or if you would like to monitor the net on any internet-capable device, you can do so by going to K3CLR, that's Kilo 3 Charlie Lima Romeo.com, and select the Tri-Cities Mountain Empire Fusion net, and that'll put you right in there with us. All right, so when checking in, give your name, call, and location. Let us know if you're going to be in and out. If you just simply check in, and we will come back to you for comments. So any stations, please call now.
Kilo Echo 4 Whiskey Golf Victor. KL1ZA, Kilo Lima 1 Zulu Alpha. I'm Jim. I am located in Bristol, Tennessee.
November 4 X-Ray Romeo Delta, Ralph in Chilhowie, Virginia.
Next. Echo.
Okay, let me run through what I've got here, and I'll just recognize everybody by call sign since we'll come back for comments. First, I have KE4WGV, Kilo Echo 4 Whiskey Golf Victor. After him was KL1ZA, and then I had N4XRD, followed by KD4CCO. That's what I've got so far. Is there anyone else that would like to check in?
At control, please check in and out. Kilo Oscar 4 Echo Victor Echo Eddie in Jonesboro, Tennessee.
All right, we got KO4EVE, Eddie in Jonesboro, in and out. Glad to see you're making it in there with us, Eddie. Got you in and out, but we was experimenting with reducing the repeater power a little bit to mid power instead of high to see if it affected the fringe areas. And based on Ralph checking in and earlier on the analog side, and I heard Ken in there pretty well too. Sounds like that. We're not giving up anything doing that. So anyway, thanks for checking in. Is there any other stations that would like to check in?
Good evening, Adam. Kilo 1 Alpha 8 Yankee Echo Zulu. Kilo 1 Whiskey Victor Alpha, Dave, Clarksburg, West Virginia, no comment.
Okay, pick up some of our West Virginia folks there. KA8YEZ will be back for comments, and we had Dave in Clarksburg, K1WVA, checked in and out. Thanks for joining us tonight, Dave. Any other stations? Okay, well, if you're out there listening and just waiting to check in, well, we'll certainly give you the opportunity to do that later on in the net. For right now, we'll get to our topic. I just got a comment on YouTube trying to figure out the 67 hertz transmit tone on the local repeater. Wayne, if you're copying me, you don't have to put that in on the digital side. You can you still get in. The tones don't have any effect over there. You're good to go on the digital side. So we'll open up for more check-ins a little later on if we get you in there. Anyway, holding in my hand the envelope, as a child of 4 could plainly see, it has been hermetically sealed and kept in a mayonnaise jar on Funkin' Wagnall's porch until noon today. But I, in my semi-mystic and somewhat divine way, will ascertain the contents of said envelope. So tonight's topic is going to be what, if anything, have you done for the holidays decoration-wise? As always, the topic is strictly optional, and you're more than welcome to comment on anything else you'd like. And if you didn't do anything decoration-wise, just tell us about that, and maybe a reason why. There's no judgment here whatsoever. And so tonight, as customary, I'll go ahead and start things off. Let me reset. Okay. And by the way, I haven't totally forgot about our Town of the Net segment we were doing for a while there. Of course, I'm going to be on an every other week situation to be able to call the net, but I will sporadically throw that in there because I did get some positive feedback about it, and so we'll try to do that occasionally. But anyway, as far as the topic for the night, I waited a little late in life to have kids, and so when I was a bachelor for all those years, I still decorated a little bit for Christmas. But I had the simplest of Christmas trees. It was a little small tree that sat on your tabletop that pretty much had the little decorations built into it. And I would go into the closet and get that thing out and set it in the center of my dining room table, which put it in a window visible from the street. And there it was. And I had a couple little plug-in ornaments that came from Hallmark that plugged into the lights, and they race these little cars around and stuff, and that was about the extent of it. But now I've got more kids than you can shake a stick at, and so we do the full-on putting up the big tree, and my wife is a big Winnie the Pooh fan, so we have Winnie the Pooh lights going around our mantle, and my yard. I don't do any string lights anymore. Those things kind of aggravate me, but I've got these little spotlights that point at your house or something else, and they make the light just go everywhere. And 2 or 3 of the ones I have, they actually put if you're familiar with the Paw Patrol cartoon, they put the Paw Patrol symbol up on the wall, and then everything sort of circulates around and moves around, and the kids really love it. And then I've got some that put these little sparkly lights. And I've got a weeping willow tree in my front yard, and I discovered that if I take one of those lights, put it in the ground, and point it straight up into that tree, it does. I mean, it looks amazing. It looks like that tree is just sparkling. So that's what I do. And then I have the little blow-up decorations. Let me reset real quick. My blow-up decorations consist of a Paw Patrol Chase and a Paw Patrol Marshal, the little policeman and the little fireman from the Paw Patrol cartoon. And then I've got a Minion from the whatever that movie was where they had the Minions. Yeah, Despicable. My wife's listening to me, and they're Despicable Me. And that little fella, his little air pump, whenever the sensor kicks on to turn my Christmas decorations on, his air pump will kind of suck against the ground a little bit. So he doesn't stand up without you going out there and kicking him. So he looks like he blows up a little bit, but he's laying down. So I told my 4-year-old one day that he was drunk. So now he says the Minion's drunk when he doesn't stand up. And then I've got a huge Tennessee football helmet out there too, which I'm not ashamed to say. So, so that's my holiday decorations. And anyway, I think tonight we'll just go with the instead of having everybody pass it on, I'm going to go with traditional because I kind of forgot to do that, and that gives me an opportunity to comment here and there. So I'll just do the passing on as we go tonight, and up next I'll have KE4 WGV Jeff, and when each person gets done, just pass it back to net control, and I'll keep it going. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, this is Jeff up from Bristol, Virginia, and I'm afraid I don't have a very good Christmas decoration story. I've got a Santa Claus and a snowman and a string of lights, and decorated a couple trees around the house. I think it looks pretty good, but it's nothing fancy. Nobody will be driving any distance to see it. But we used to do a lot more than we're doing now, but seemed to. I don't know, it seems like when you get out that string of lights, it seems like more and more of them don't work. And so I'm getting to the point that I'm getting tired of filtering through. In fact, this year we just went ahead and bought some new ones, only like $5 a string or something. And so that's about it as far as that goes. Now, I tuned in here and just happened to pick you all up for the net. And I was just wondering, I know this is an impossible question, but I was just wondering if anybody had any idea when this thing would be count on having a meeting or something where we could get together and look at things and talk about things. I guess that's what you all do. I don't know. I've been out of this for about 20-some years and just now getting back in. So I'm going to let this drop and back to net.
Okay, Jeff, thanks for checking in, and welcome to the net. And I wish I knew the answer to that, because that's something that I'm really looking forward to being able to do again. We did kind of get together in person for December for our Christmas, but we don't really vote on anything official then, so I didn't feel like that anyone would be penalized by not attending as far as any points of business, voting on or anything. Mainly put it together so we could present the Ham of the Year award and still do that in person, and thankfully he was one of the attendees, so Gary got that. But we've got an email list, and we also have a Facebook group page that we try to keep everybody up to date on that. And we right now are meeting. You can tune into the 670 repeater on the analog side on meeting night, or we have like an online Jitsi meet, I believe is what it's called. It's just like Skype or any of those others, where you can get online with or without a camera, and as long as you got a microphone, kind of thing. You can do it on a phone or a computer. So give us a shout sometime, and we can get you that info to where you can join in on the meetings, or like I say, if you join in on the repeater, we'll be on there as well. All right, up next we have Jim, KL1ZA. Good evening, Jim.
Good evening, Adam, and the rest of the net, in all ships at sea. I can't tell you exactly everything we have for Christmas decorations outside. Some candy canes. We put a wooden wagon out front. I leave the decoration up to the oldest grandson and the women folk. I know every year I bring something down from the attic and put it back in the attic. We have a Christmas tree that we did buy last year. We had an old one from Alaska that we threw out because it had been put up so many times. Other than that, some Christmas cards hanging and stuff like that going into our living room. I think you've been inside my living room, Adam. But some garland and stuff like that. But nothing too fancy. Like the previous just said, nobody's going to be driving for miles to see my house. For that, I will say 7-3, KL1CA.
Okay, Jim, thanks for checking in. Appreciate the comments there. And yeah, and as far as I know the previous Jeff had mentioned about the string lights and stuff. I don't do a lot of those, but we do put them around the tree. And I tell you, one of the best things I've discovered in recent years is the LED lights. They don't consume that much energy for one thing. They don't get hot, and from a former firefighter's perspective, I like that, because if you either forget to plug in the tree or unplug the tree, or if you just want to leave it plugged in, which I actually do, you don't have any worries there. It's pretty safe, friendly thing. All right, up next we have Ralph and Chilhowie in for XRD. Good evening, Ralph. And let me ask you one quick question in addition, Ralph, because you're kind of out there on the fringe. When you were on the analog side of the repeater, did you have any problem picking up the receiving the repeater signal?
And for NT and the Tri-Cities Mountain Empire Fusion Net, and for XRD, Ralph in Chilhowie, Virginia. No, I had no problem at all. In fact, I was picking you all up better than I pick up the 443, which I am just 16 miles from it, but I've got a big ridge between me and that repeater. Anyway, I have an excellent copy on the Tri-Cities, or the Bristol, Tennessee repeater there, no problem at all. In fact, I think I could probably talk to some people simplex down there. I don't know. I'll just have to try it someday. Christmas decorations. Well, we scaled back this year, or maybe I should say I scaled back this year, and I'm probably in trouble for that. But we traditionally have a lot of visitors at Christmas time, and we're just not going to have them this year. Usually, as kind of a wind-up to the whole Christmas shebang, on Christmas Day, that evening, we'll have a big dinner at our house. Use our formal dining room and get out the crystal and all that good stuff, but I'd say it's more likely to be just a simple turkey dinner, just my wife and I this year. So anyway, because of that, we are not doing as much interior decorating either. In fact, our tree remains in its box, an artificial tree, and we're using a very simple one that you can just grab and go. But still have nice little decorations here and there around the house, because we actually have 3 trees. But in the past, we've had some really interesting decorations. And probably one of my favorites back in the day when chasing lights were so popular, I had a gazebo decorated that when you turned on all the lights, it looked like a merry-go-round going round and round. But those fell out of popularity, and I'm like you, Adam, I'm on to the LED format. One thing that changed a lot of my decorating style was, at one point, we used to have a dog that wiped out a whole bunch of Christmas tree lights, just tore them off the house, tore them off the trees. Just ate a 12-gauge extension cord, if you can imagine a live one. Anyway, that dog survived all that, but I guess I'll hand it back to net control, and for NT, take over.
Okay, Ralph. And then, yeah, I almost messed up there with the systems, especially with the link system. It's I'll just remind everybody, not that anybody has messed it up tonight that I could tell, but with digital, a lot of us are used to with repeaters. They say key up and count a couple seconds in your head and then start talking, or you clip your transmission. digital, you have to wait on the other guy's transmission to drop a lot of times too before you key up again, or it won't activate all the nodes and all that kind of stuff. So just made me think of that because I almost messed up myself. But up next we have KD4 CCO, Dallas in Bristol, Virginia. Good evening, Dallas.
Good evening, Adam, and everybody on the net. An interesting story that I've got to tell about my outside lights. I've always said that when I turn my lights on at 5:30, the TVA has to throw on another generator. I don't know if that's true. Not likely, but I say that anyway. I've got inside lights, outside lights, and every one of them is controlled by one central timer. You could set your watch by the time at the time they cut on, which is 5:30, and they shut off at 11 o'clock. I've got a candle in each window of my house, and those are all remotely controlled by a timer. And I've got outside lights and trees. The tree is the only thing that's not actually controlled by the timer. It's a manual. It's on the same setup, but it's manual. I don't want the tree coming on if we happen not to be home or something. So it's a manual thing. Everything else is automatic. And I guess that's about it from this way. I think I can turn it back to net control. You're doing a fine job there, Adam. Appreciate you. And that tone on the 6-7 machine, I'm afraid we may be in for a while. I can pick up that interference over here at my house loud and clear. So I don't know what it is, but it's strong, it seems like. Back to net control. This is KD4 CCO.
Yeah, when I went up to the repeater site the other day, it was it wasn't quite full scale, but it was probably like a S7 at least into the repeater itself. So yeah, we may be in for it on that. It doesn't seem to really mess with people when they're transmitting though. It seems like that everybody, even on HT and low power settings, seem to override it. But there's a water tank up there. When I got on the south side of it, I had my mobile on reverse, and I got it almost full scale. And when I was over on the north side of it, I only had it about S3 or so. But, yeah, I did a quick, as best I could, by myself mobile fox hunt, and really couldn't pinpoint any particular direction though. So. Anyway, thanks for checking in and the comments. Up next we have Matt in Wheeling, West Virginia, KA8YEZ, and then I give Lydia honorable mention on NetLogger, Matt, and I know she's probably in bed this late and everything, but I kept her name in the remarks there with you, and we definitely appreciate the job that she's been doing with the kids net. But go ahead, Matt.
Okay, Adam. So you and everybody else on that. Yep, thanks for putting her in there. She mentioned to me the night before, or as I was getting ready, you checking in on that tonight? I said, well, if I'm awake, which I was zonked out on the couch, and somebody sent me a text at 20:10 and woke me up, and that's how I got here. So. Yeah, she said, well, if I'm awake, I'll come out and wake you up. I said, don't worry about it. I said, you need your sleep. So, yeah, she had a little bit of, wanted to make sure I got checked in, only by a couple minutes. As far as decorating, we have a sunroom in front of the house that has 6 windows in it across the front. I have 4 of the wreaths that we hung up, I think one or 2 years, probably about 6 or 7 years ago, we put wreaths on, hung wreaths on those windows. I have 4 of the wreaths that I have carried up to the sunroom, and the other 2 are still down in the basement. And that's about as far as I've gone so far on decorating. I'm the one we're going to be going to get a tree yet. I imagine it's going to be this week. Got to be this weekend. But the scheduler hasn't told me when we're doing that yet. So we'll see what happens there. It's supposed to be a bunch of snow coming here in the Wheeling. Start at 7 a.m. tomorrow. It's supposed to get 4 to 6 inches. As much as I'm always excited about snow and love snow, I kind of hope that this is this because my truck is in the shop, and we have a real steep 200-foot long driveway, and her van doesn't do all that great, even though it is all-wheel drive. All-wheel drive and four-wheel drive are 2 different things. So, kind of hoping the snow misses this time until I get my truck back. That's about it. Thanks for y'all. Hope everybody has the week. And don't forget about the Country Roads Net. Thursday night, 8 p.m. on the West Virginia link room. 648. And sure Adam will plug the kids. Where you'll hear Audrey and her old man, Matt, KEPNG, doing the net. Okay, back at that. Kate, why is that?
Okay, Matt, thanks for checking in. And, yeah, that's, I tell you, we, typically I wait till Thanksgiving or after to put up Christmas decorations. I've always kind of been adamant about that. And then, right after New Year's Day, I try to get them down as quick as possible. But this year, just with 2020 being as miserable and everything else that was going on, about a week before Thanksgiving or so, I just looked at my wife and I was like, we just need to put that stuff up, you know, as miserable as this year's been, that a little bit of Christmas in the house for a little longer time will do us some good. And the kids have really enjoyed it. They've got a little blow-up snow globe that has Winnie the Pooh characters in it. They love to come in the living room, turn it on, and of course it makes a lot of noise and all that kind of stuff. But and thanks for mentioning the kids net. Yeah, we've got a net controller lined up for this Saturday at 7. Matt, KE8PNG, and his daughter, 10-year-old Audrey, will be calling the net. Glad they're able to get in there. I may be working, and not sure if I'll be off in time to check in, but if I can, I'll definitely try to get in there and support them. And if I can get home quick enough, I'll try to get it on YouTube for them as well. All right, that brings us to the bottom of the current list, so we'll open it up once again. Is there anyone else that would like to check in? Please call now.
This is Wayne, WA4JCF, in Bristol, Tennessee, and it sounds like my voice is pretty hoarse, so hopefully you can understand me.
Yeah, Wayne, we understand you just fine. We got you on the list there, WA4JCF. Is there any other stations? Okay, Wayne, well, I know you've been listening to us. I won't rehash the topic or anything, and, of course, anything else you want to comment on is certainly welcome. So go ahead, Wayne.
Okay, it's been a few years since I've done any Christmas decorating. I have, for Halloween, I have a little costume I dress up in, and, we'll have a little plastic glowing pumpkin in the door to... And then I put in some big fake eyebrows and kind of wiggle them a little bit, and the kids seem to like that. But lately I've just been experimenting around. Like I have this 4K monitor I have on my computer, and it has several different modes. I'm trying to get the display port to work, and I've been experimenting with this new MacBook Air, and it's got this USB 3 Thunderbolt. So it took me by surprise. I've been trying to get that to work, so I've been kind of playing around with some old tech here. Anyway, this is, I have that logger up, and do have a list here, so I'll probably time it out by now, but N4NT, this is WA4JCF, and thanks.
Okay, Wayne, thanks for checking in, and yeah, appreciate you mentioning the NetLogger. It reminds me, I did put a link in the AIM window for NetLogger for those of you that are on it for the Facebook group page for the Kids Connection Net. That's where we typically keep everybody up to date as to whether we have a net controller available or not. We basically are scheduled for each Saturday right here in QSO America at 7 p.m. if we have a net controller available. Saturday's kind of a hard day to sometimes to commit to. That's a lot of times folks have plans, or like in my case, sometimes I have to work. So we try to be there as much as possible, and I think we're going on about maybe a month and a half, 2 months without missing a single Saturday so far. So that's working out pretty good. All right, that's bottom of the list once again. Is there anyone else that would like to check into the Tri-Cities Mountain Empire Fusion Net?
10-9 YBK checking in.
Alpha. David, Rayland, Ohio.
All right, we picked up two there, N9YBK, Chicago Matt, and KX8DRA, David in Ohio. So we'll go ahead and come back to you off the comments. If you're just joining us, the optional topic for the night is tell us about your holiday decorations, if you have any, and of course anything else you'd like to comment on. So we'll turn it to, as far as the Friends of Amateur Radio Group and QSO America goes, we'll turn it to our fearless leader here, Chicago Matt, N9YBK. Good evening, Matt.
Fearless leader, okay. No, I'm full of fear and trepidation, especially leading a group like what we have here on QSO America and the Friends of Amateur Radio Group. It's all good. I'm glad to have the Tri-City Mountain Empire Net over on QSO America. We appreciate you guys joining us and staying connected to us. It's definitely opened up a lot more people on our nets and on the system. And as far as the question of the evening, Christmas lights. I didn't decorate. One of my boys did, and I'll have to send Adam a picture of it. He's got a string of like M60 ribbon shells as garland on our Christmas tree. So, and it's in our front window, so I can just imagine the neighbors think if they swing by and see that. But they already know we're kind of nuts, so kind of fitting. Not much more to add. Just greetings from Chicagoland. Usually don't make it in here on Tuesday evenings, but having to be sitting here messing around with a printer, trying to get it working for my wife, and heard the radio, so I thought I would jump in. So I will pass it back to Net Control. Adam, thank you again for running this net and running the kids net. And I'll say 7-3. So N4NT from N9YBK.
Okay, Chicago Matt, thanks for checking in, and I'm not sure if you were the one that was sending out the Friends of Amateur Radio Group Christmas cards, but if so, I did receive mine, and really like the two stickers in the card there, so I'm going to get one of those on a vehicle, and I think I'm going to strategically place the other. That way when I have video meetings, it'll be in the background. But thanks and you've added another state to the net tonight. As some of the locals say, and I heard somebody on broadcast radio do this today just for the fun of it, but thanks for bringing Illinois in. I pronounced the S on the end. I know that I discovered several years ago that agitated the natives up there when I had to go to Woodstock, Illinois to make a delivery. I stayed in the hotel room that night and watched the local news, and there was a prominent government individual that pronounced it that way several times during an interview, and the local news crew just berated him to death, just really give him a hard time. But I think he was expected to know how to pronounce it versus maybe someone who's not local. And speaking of bringing another state to the net tonight, that brings us to Ohio, KX8DRA. David, good evening.
Well, good evening, everyone on the net. I hate it when people do that. They've just been introduced and then they give them their own name. Christmas decorations so far, I am not really into Christmas decorations because it's cold when you put them up outside and it's cold when you take them down. And on the inside, in this house at least, sometimes they often get left up into February, March, April, May, even next Christmas, and that annoys me. Anyhow, we do have our tree up. I bought my wife some red LEDs a couple years ago, red LED light sets for the tree. She loves red, and no more of those dumb incandescents. And I let her decorate the rest of the tree. I just got recognized as part of the Breeze Shooters Club in Western PA. It's on 10 meters. They meet, they met last night, and I got 4. You have to make 10 contacts, get their call, their name, and their Breeze Shooter number. I got 4 last night, needed 6 more today. Checked into a 10-meter net from about the same area. Got 6 more, so I am a breeze shooter, as you can tell since I'm talking forever and ever right now. So I will turn it back over to net control. And 73, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah to everyone listening. This is KX8DRA.
Okay, David, thanks for checking in, and I tell you, I miss 10 meters being open on a regular basis like it was several years ago when I started upgrading into the HF bands long before the code requirement dropped, and we certainly look forward to hopefully having an opening like that again one of these days. I don't know if it'll happen or not, or what, but one of the things I started working on when that was going on was trying to get a 10-10 number, and I honestly lost track of anything I logged toward that, so if it ever did open up again, I'd probably have to start over if that even is a thing anymore. I don't know. I looked and they still had a website up once upon a time, but if you don't take them down, they don't go away, so who knows. Thanks for checking in, and that will bring us to the bottom of the list once again. Is there anyone else that would like to check into the Tri-Cities Mountain Empire Fusion Net? Please call.
KB0VXN, Mike in Minnesota.
All right, Mike, we got you in there, and that's added us another state for the night. We're probably in the the twilight of the net here, so I'll go ahead and turn it over to you for any comments. Our topic was holiday or Christmas decorations. If you want to comment on that and or anything else you'd like to comment on, go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Adam. Good evening to you and everyone else on the net tonight. Yeah, just sitting here at work, having a rather peaceful evening at the moment, so hopefully it stays away for a bit. Christmas decorating, my girlfriend said her 10-year-old daughter has always wanted Christmas lights on the front of the house, so we went and got a few strings, and I hopped up on the roof and ran some across the front, and girlfriend wrapped a bunch around the porch railings and stuff, and we got a timer for it, so we're all set. Turned out pretty nice. Otherwise, yeah, not a whole lot new here. Like a lot of people here with propagation getting a bit better again, so kind of enjoying that. I was off the air for a month or two while I moved, and everything set back up here again a few weeks ago. So anyways, I will turn it back to net control and say 7-3 to everybody. You'll have a Merry Christmas. QB0VXM, back to net.
All right, thanks for checking in, Mike, and good to hear you. And you, and if, in case I forget to say so before I close the net here in a minute, hope you have a Merry Christmas and everyone else on the net. Are there any other stations that would like to check in with us tonight? Please call.
Here's 7 RKO.
All right, K7 RKL, Bob. That adds another state to our list tonight. We certainly appreciate that, and we'll go ahead and turn it over to you for any comments you'd like to make.
Well, I was just walking. I got the radio turned on in the room, and walking by, I heard us talking. I said, I can finally check in. I keep forgetting about when all the nets are and everything. So, anyway, I just wanted to get a quick check-in while I had the opportunity to. So, thanks for holding the net, and Merry Christmas, if I don't talk to everybody before then. So, 73 is K7 RKL.
Okay, Bob, thanks for joining us tonight. Glad to have you, and I know what you mean. It seems like there's some net activity about any night of the week, and if you just kind of happen to think about them at the time that they come on, you can usually catch one. This room, speaking of that, I'll just remind everybody, this room, QSO America, has quite a few nets, so I'll just encourage you to check out the Friends of Amateur Radio Group website, or the Friends of Amateur Radio Group or QSO America Facebook group pages, and you can get reminders on the different nets. The net with no name on Monday and Wednesday nights, and the Easy to Hear net on Tuesdays and Saturdays now. That's a morning net. That's 9:30 Eastern time, so that's pretty neat net to check in for the local people. We've been staying connected to QSO America on the 146.670 repeater, so all you got to do is just tune into the repeater, and as long as the room hasn't been changed by another user temporarily, then those nets will just be up and running. You can join right in with them. I try to do that occasionally when I don't forget. All right, is there anyone else that would like to check in? Okay, hearing none, I forgot to mention Bob was in Arizona, so that gives us Tennessee, Virginia, which I fully expect to hear those. especially with the local repair action. And then our West Virginia folks joined us, and we're always glad to have them. And then Chicago Matt came in there and brought Illinois into the net, and then we had Ohio, Minnesota, and Arizona. So that's pretty good, diverse little group as far as the states goes. So we'll see before we close up. Does anyone have anything else for the net? Okay, well, our total number of check-ins tonight was 13, and we had 7 states represented, and at one time we had 10 nodes connected to the room. Thanks to each one of you for taking time to check into the net, and this is N4NT closing the Tri-Cities Mountain Empire Fusion net at 10:24 p.m. Eastern Time, 7/3, and good night.